The yearly candle is closing in just over 3 days, and Bitcoin is preparing to print two major macro buying signals. These signals have not been present on the charts since pre-2020 bull run. In today's video, we're going to be jumping into the macro charts, discussing how the monthly and yearly price action is developing, as well as going over the short-term price action. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the macro charts, the monthly and yearly charts, discussing how the charts are developing, what they are looking like from a technical and structural perspective, as well as going over the upcoming yearly candle and monthly candle close, the significance of these closes, and of course, what we expect to happen on the short-term price action. Before we do get into it, smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos on Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you are interested in, join us on Telegram. It is the third link down below. You will get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop of cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. If you are interested in our VIP channel, we post trading setups with exact entries, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, exclusive analysis, and everything you need to stay in the loop with our trading and of course the market as a whole. You'll also get access to our group chats, our general chat, our trading chart and education chat, our help chat, our trade setup chat, our news chat, and of course our daily video chat. If you're interested in getting access to all of that, go ahead and contact me in the pinned comment of the free channel to find out more information. We do have a New Year's sale starting very soon. More information will be provided. Let's go ahead, guys, and jump over to Bitcoin, starting on that market data. So again, I've been away for a couple days. It's great to be back. Bitcoin really hasn't done all that much in the last 5 or 6 days. We've seen a lot of sideways price action, a lot of chop, and we're developing this rising channel formation. We'll come back and discuss in detail in a moment. Moving over to the market data, 24-hour volume is sitting at 138 billion. This is up 7.9% in the last 24 hours. With that, we've seen a pretty large rise in liquidations, sitting at a total of 189 million. This is up 26% in the last 24 hours. Looking at those liquidations in a little bit more detail, we can see of the 189 million, we see a 70 million coming from shorts and just under 120 million coming from long positions as Bitcoin tumbled back down to retest the short-term uptrending support line. Moving over to the volatility index on the 30-day period, we can see the volatility index has been dropping steadily for the last 10 days. Again, this is expected moving into Christmas and the Christmas holidays. We do generally see a little bit more of stagnation, a little bit more of compression and consolidation, which does result in reduced volatility. Moving over to the 60-day period, more or less the same thing, with the volatility index showing a small reduction. Let's go ahead, guys, and jump over to the broader market. So the DXY actually ended up reaching our target. As you know, we've been expecting this 101 level ever since we broke down from the support level at 105. So we've come down and we've actually retested our support. As we know, support is support until it is not. We therefore expect this level to hold as support, potentially even bounce, provided our 108 level does, sorry, should I say 100.8 level does not break. If we do see a breakdown of this level, we could see a scenario of what we did actually see back in July, which was a strong correction down to that 99 support level. So support is support until it's not. Don't be surprised if you see bounces from here. Even if you do see a bounce on the DXY, it is unlikely that bounce will result in anything on the higher time frames, as we are very much still in a higher time frame downtrend here for the DXY. If we do see a breakdown of the 100.8 range, we could see a correction down to 99. And of course, as the DXY continues downwards, we do generally see asset prices continue upwards. Moving over, The S&P 500 is looking very strong with just under 1 day remaining on that weekly candle close above the local all-time high, that wick we made all the way back in January 3rd, 2022. So we are looking for a break and weekly close above this level to actually print and confirm that weekly high, the highest weekly candle we've seen on the S&P 500. Moving over to the Dow Jones, a very similar thing happening over here. Again, we've already created that weekly high, already breaking through and establishing new highs on each day. So we are looking very strong over here. Again, this level of resistance has now turned into a level of support. The same goes for the S&P 500. If we close this weekly candle above, therefore we would expect the price to continue upwards provided the support level does hold. If we do retest this support level at any point, that would be considered a healthy retest. However, if we lose the support level, that would be considered a short-term flip and we would expect the price action to correct. Let's go ahead, guys, and jump over to Bitcoin. So really quickly, what are we covering today? We're going to be talking about our monthly charts, our yearly chart, our technical indicators on that monthly and weekly chart, discussing two very important buying signals that are about to print in 3 days' time for Bitcoin, provided Bitcoin remains where it is. The last time we saw these buying signals were all the way back in 2020 and 2019. And we'll also discuss the short-term price action, what is happening here, what we expect to see, and of course the main plans and triggers you should be paying attention to. So without further ado, a quick word from Bitget and BingX and we'll jump into Bitcoin. I wanted to briefly interrupt today's video to discuss the two exchanges we use on this channel, Bitget and BingX. So which exchange should you sign up to? If you look to the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see the list of differences in relation to KYC requirements and the countries these exchanges offer services to. The first link down below being the Bitget link and the second link down below being the BingX link. No matter which link you sign up to, you're going to get up to 15% discounts on your trading fees, up to $5,000 in trading rewards, and of course, you'll get access to every single MegaWhale exclusive bonus campaign we run on these exchanges. Alongside that, Bitget and BingX are incredibly similar. They are both ranked top 10 in terms of trading volume. They both have extensive liquidity pools and market pairs offering up to 125x leverage. And most importantly, they both offer protection funds for their users to protect you against any third-party hacks. So get started now and support the channel by clicking the links below. Thanks for listening. Okay guys, let's head over to Bitcoin. So as you know, 2023 is about to come to an end and we are actually closing in on that yearly candle close in just under 3 days time. And you can see this is our yearly candle, a massive green candle, which has been fantastic to see. If we look at prior years, and these prior years meaning 2019 specifically and 2015 specifically, these green candles in the reversal phase of the bull run have never seen the price action push as high to retest the local high, or should I say the opening price of the prior yearly candle. So that is currently sitting at around 46,300. We are currently sitting at a market price of around 43,400. So it's unlikely we would expect in the next 3 days for Bitcoin to push and close above 46k. But if we do see that, that would be a bullish engulfing candle on the yearly chart and would be probably the most bullish thing we have ever seen happen on the yearly chart for Bitcoin in this particular phase of the 4-year cycle. So watch out for that, guys. 46.4k is going to be that opening price. If we close a yearly candle above there, that is going to be a bullish engulfing candle and will likely propel the price higher. So 3 days until that yearly candle close. But again, guys, we also have 3 days until our monthly candle close. And we have two major buying signals that are in the process of printing. They haven't printed yet. We do need to wait for that monthly candle close. And if they do print, they are going to not only provide some very important intel in regards to where Bitcoin is likely to go next, but more importantly, the range and phase of which Bitcoin will likely move in. So let's go ahead and discuss. The first one is going to be the Bollinger Band breakout. And we've seen this happen in every single phase of the 4-year cycle, in every phase of the bull run leading into the bull run. And every single time it has occurred, it has basically propelled Bitcoin upwards and told us or indicated Bitcoin is entering a more aggressive phase of the 4-year cycle, which is generally what we see when we move into the 4-year cycle bull run phase. So let's take a look. Every single time we see the price action, a candle on the monthly chart, break and close above, okay, the Bollinger Band upper band for the first time since actually entering that bear market. So we entered a bear market, okay, we break below the midline, we're in this capitulation territory, we push upwards, we break above the midline, and then we eventually close a monthly candle above the upper band. Every single time we have seen that, it has resulted in Bitcoin aggressively continuing upwards over the coming months until we create an all-time high. Bitcoin in both instances, after closing a monthly candle above the Bollinger Band upper band, had remained above the midline of the Bollinger Bands until only after it created an all-time high. So what does this tell us? It tells us in 3 days' time, if we are able to close this monthly candle above the Bollinger Band upper band, which is sitting at a market price of just over $40,000, we will likely not see Bitcoin break underneath, okay, by break I mean monthly candle close, underneath the Bollinger Band midline, which is 26K, until only after we print an all-time high, which is expected all the way in 2025, October, September 2025. This is a massive, massive bullish indicator. A massive indication of strength, and if what we've seen in history repeat itself, we should expect an aggressive uptrend to continue for Bitcoin, provided this monthly candle close actually occurs. So that is the first one, guys. The next one is of even more significance. The next one is going to be the Ichimoku Cloud baseline monthly candle close. In history, we have seen this play out again twice in both cycles leading up to the bull run phase. Every single time we travel from a bear run, okay, bear market, into a consolidation phase, we eventually retest and break through the baseline of the Ichimoku Cloud again. When we close a monthly candle above the baseline of the Ichimoku Cloud, we actually remain above that baseline until only after we create an all-time high, eventually then losing that, entering an official bear market or that capitulation phase. In this instance, the baseline is sitting at a market price of around $42,300. And therefore, in 3 days' time, if Bitcoin is able to close above $42,300, we will be breaking and closing above the baseline of the Ichimoku Cloud, resulting again in a continuation. Now, that is just one key part of what we are looking for the start of the next bull run. When we look at the bull run, we look for 3 things. We look for, number 1, the break above the Ichimoku Cloud baseline on the monthly chart. In 3 days' time, we could get that. Number 2, we look for the price to pass the date range trend of the halvening, which is April 2024, into this green territory. And number 3, we look for a monthly candle close above the dead cat high bounce of the prior cycle, in this instance reflected or represented by that dotted trend line. If we get all 3 of those, we can say Bitcoin has officially entered a bull run. So far we have not got any of them, but in 3 days' time, we may get that first tick, that close over the baseline. So it's absolutely significant. It has been correct in the past numerous occasions, but we have also seen a scenario in which it actually resulted in a rejection. Back in 2019, we saw an aggressive rally towards that baseline, followed by a rejection downwards until we broke through once more. This is leading us to believe again that we shouldn't be sitting here saying we will 100% break through in 3 days' time. There is still a possibility of a rejection. So let's go ahead, guys, and discuss the short-term price action. So on the short-term price action, we have some very, very important levels we need to be taking a look at. Specifically, the 44.4K level, which is the range high trigger, okay? and of course, this major uptrending support line, which you can go ahead and see is annotated as this green box over here and is reflected by this thick black diagonal trend line. These are really the main two levels on the chart that we are paying attention to. The range high trigger is basically the upper level of short-term resistance, which is basically preventing Bitcoin from pushing any higher. Meaning if we are able to break above this level, we will likely see a continuation upwards into that 46 to 48k major high time frame resistance. Now remember, the 46 to 48k resistance is actually going to be that dotted trend line on the monthly chart, which is the second point of validation we need to break above to enter an official bull run. So a very, very important level. If we take a look at the current price action, what we can see is Bitcoin is developing a rising channel formation. Now, a rising channel formation is inherently a bearish structure. It is reflective of overall exhaustion and weakness in the price action. However, a rising channel is still an uptrend until it is broken, and therefore we are now retesting a level of diagonal support on the chart, and we should expect Bitcoin has the potential to push back upwards and retest this resistance, provided, this is the key part, provided Bitcoin does not break and close a 4-hour candle underneath this uptrending diagonal trend line. A break and close of a 4-hour candle underneath the uptrend of this trend line will validate a breakdown of this structure and likely push Bitcoin to retest that $40,000 support, which has confluence of that major uptrending trend line. If we take a measured move analysis from point 1 to point 2 of the channel, apply it to a perceived breakdown point, you can see that takes us directly down to around about 40,000. So in the next 3 days, this channel is really going to go ahead and determine whether or not Bitcoin is going to be able to break above those two key triggers on the macro chart, or if we're going to see a correction back to 40k, resulting in a failed breakout attempt of those two trigger points. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit more. Let's say hypothetically Bitcoin breaks down from this channel. The major uptrending level will still be a level of support. If we see Bitcoin break down and retest, technically we are still in an uptrend, everything is still bullish, provided this level holds as support. It is only if the $40,000 level and the 38k level fail to hold as support when the macro charts will start to look very, very bearish. So let's go to the 3-day chart. We can see, guys, this major level of support sitting at 38 to 40k. If we fail to hold above this level, that will classify this as deviation, meaning a failure to push into the next level of resistance, which would flip the macro trend and likely push Bitcoin back downwards. Of course, this is a very low probability scenario to play out, as we do need to break below two major levels of support before that scenario actually activates. So as of right now, Bitcoin is very bullish. Bitcoin can continue upwards. On the short term, we are developing a slightly weaker structure that you do need to pay attention to. However, on the higher time frame, we are looking very strong. Let's go ahead and take a look at some indicators over here. So we do have the CVD and we do have the RSI, guys. If we're looking for a break upwards, right? And a break upwards meaning a break over the range high trigger, we are looking for two things to occur. Number one, we are looking for a break upwards on the RSI, and number two, we are looking for the CVD to clear this horizontal trend line, which is reflected as the level of resistance and consolidation at this horizontal zone. If we see both of those things occur, Bitcoin is very likely to push to 46 to 48k. On the flip side, if we see the RSI break downward, that will result in a negative momentum shift, and we will likely see the breakdown of this channel occur, resulting in a continuation to retest the $40,000 range. I'm going to go ahead and sum up the video there, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's absolutely fantastic to be back on the charts. I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas and holiday, and we'll catch you guys in the next one on Sunday. Cheers.